what is commendable. And so when we do these things, it will be of great help to ourselves because no matter what we do, we should not go back to the butchers. Good evening to the good people of Great Liberia. Good evening to all the good people in this great country called Liberia. And it feels good to return here after a great time. I want to say good evening for those of you just joining us today. I'm very grateful to welcome you to the show Issues of Today on Voice of Liberia. Too many things happening in Liberia. Campaign has opened. Politicians are moving to talk to electorates. But I can say this to you, you know exactly where we stand. And this is something that I'm not going to be apologetic about. I'm not ashamed to say this, and I'm not afraid to say this. Asking you Liberians about the re-elections of His Excellency President George Weah is paramount to what we do here at Voice of Liberia. My name is Sekou Sharif. Inshallah, with the blessing of my parents, I'll be up to 9 o'clock tonight on this show. Let the peace reign. Let us maintain the peace of our country, Liberia. No matter what the issues are, let us disagree to agree and make Liberia a better place for each and every one of us. Good evening to the good people of this great country called Liberia, under His Excellency George Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia. And so let me give you line up of what you're going to be doing on the show today. Too many trending issues in the country, too many interesting issues. We've got too many great discussants are going to join us on the show here. And so at 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to play host to the Mende movement for the re-elections of President George Weah. We have two persons coming from that institution who are going to join us on the show tonight. We'll have with us the national chairman and also the vice chair for press and statistics who join us on the show. They're going to give us reasons why the Mende movement is a conglomeration of lots of other important institutions about the president re-elections. At 7 o'clock, we've invited two astute, great women of Liberia. They will join us here tonight, and mind you, you don't want to miss such an edition on this radio. When Minister Hannah Macaulay Cabo from the We Are Intellectual Movement will join us here on the show along with Madam Vivian Akoto, who's the deputy head of Secretariat Music and Entertainment. Minister Ahana Macaulay Cabo is the gender and labor specialist. The two of them going to join us here on the show tonight. We're going to talk about women activities as it relates to women supporting President George Weah re-elections in Liberia. Mind you, let me say this. We've entered the campaign. We will say things to Liberians. We'll tell you some of the things you need to hear. To our opponents, get ready for us. And so we are here. We're going to remain here. And trust me, We're going to do the best for our country, Liberia. We're joined the international scene to talk to our international correspondents to know about issues making news around the world on the program. We'll go to Nigeria to talk to our Nigerian correspondent, Naomi Kombenda. And so stick and still don't go away as we try to get all set for you. So as this program is solely designed to promote the workings of President George we're going to talk about all the things, the good things that the president has done and continue to do as we start the campaign in the country, which is being announced by the National Elections Commission. This is how I want to welcome each and every one of you today. So we're going to play a CDC song here. And so this is how we're going to do it. After that, we come back, we join our international decks to talk to our international correspondents on the show.
Yo, gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tọ́ tó hot. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n speak to ọ̀. Yo, gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tọ́ tó hot. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n speak to ọ̀.
I will be coming to you shortly to ask you to renew for a second time the mandate that you gave me 6 years ago.
We said we want rules. We're Japanese rules. We want the hospitals. We were Japanese hospitals. We said we won't go to school.
Yo, gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tọ́ tó hot. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n speak to ọ̀. Yo, gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tọ́ tó hot. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n speak to ọ̀.
I will be coming to you shortly to ask you to renew for a second time the mandate that you gave me 6 years ago.
We said we want rules. We're Japanese rules. We want the hospitals. We were Japanese hospitals. We said we won't go to schools. We better not pay to be here. We want them ID. We better not be there.
Yo, gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tọ́ tó hot. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n speak to ọ̀. Yo, gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tọ́ tó hot. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n speak to ọ̀. Yo, gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n tọ́ tó hot. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Na ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀ iná tó mọ̀ ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n speak to ọ̀. Yo. Come on, yo. Yama, 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 yo. Yama, 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 a victory. CDC victory, victory, victory. We're moving up. Yeah, we're moving up. We're moving up. We're moving up. Tamano. Oh, Tamano. 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 Oh, Tamano. Tamano. Tamano.
So well, man, I try. Oh, well, the thing like it can. We get out your way, they stand at your way. The poor people president at your way. Oh, well, so well, man, I try. Oh, well, the thing like it can. We get out your way, they stand at your way. The poor people president at your way. Yama, 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 yama.
Victory. CDC victory. Victory. Victory.
We moving up,
We moving up. Moving up. Moving up. Tamano. 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 They say we not a bull. But sister says that 12. The disciple were 12. I said no more tear. I can testify myself. Oh, yes. We want nothing less. I am on you. Yama, 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 yama. I am on you. Yama, 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 yama. A victory. Seriously, victory, victory, victory. We're moving up. We are moving up, moving up, moving up. Tamano. Oh, Tamano. 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 Oh, Tamano. Tamano. Tamano.
We look at them for not testing because they told our history. From 1847 up to now, man, I finish the history. Now they check it because someone done not expecting. The people then I was talking to too. Now they telling him thank you. I am. I'm all that time. Okay, chin, let the paper finish it time. You're talking plenty. You have your time, but you never use it right. The paper can you face a road, you gave your life. I am. Yama. A victory, CDC victory, victory, victory. We moving up, we moving up. Amaneo, Maneo.
Joel, man, I try.
Yo, for the top. I want. Whoa, man, whoa.
Yo. Who bear one thought to us? Na all. Enough from all. Na all. Enough from all. Who bear one speak to all?
Okay, welcome back to the show. You know, the part I love of the song is where yo.
Enough from all.
Bagugwe want to all yo.
All.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it as we've entered the campaign in Liberia.
For a second time, the mandate that you gave me 6 years ago.
We say we won't roll. We're Japan.
Okay, let me go to the international deck to talk to our international correspondent. When we come back, there's something we're going to talk about before we can go to our very first batch of guests here on the show tonight. We're going to join them on the program. But let me go to the international deck to talk to our international correspondents on the show tonight. You're listening to Issues of Today on Voice of Liberia 104.1. My name is Sekou Sharif. And let me go to Nigeria to talk to Naomi Kumbenda. Naomi, good evening, and thank you tonight for joining us from Nigeria.
Good evening, Sekou. Thank you for having me.
I'm told President Bola Tinubu on Sunday planned a play host to governors of states that share boundaries with Niger Republic. Naomi, bring us to speed with this development. What did transpired?
Okay, so, northern elites have already kicked against the planned onslaught against the military junta in Niger. But the president, haven't heard complaints from various critics, decided to hold meetings with these governors to know their opinion about what was going on, and this led to quite a number of agreements and also criticism about him that he doesn't have the power to go straight and then think of sending the military to go and attack in Niger, because we have porous border states already in these frontline states, and that probably was the reason why the president chose those few states which are bordering Niger and had the meetings. But we have not had an official statement as to the reason why the president chose just those states to hold the closed door meetings with them.
Now, why was the meeting with Mr. President only with states that border Niger Republic?
So Mr. President has engaged in critical consultations, like I told you earlier, with governors of this state sharing borders with the Republic of Niger. Now, he has gathered as a vital platform for the president to address those escalating situations in the country. And don't forget, Sekou, that these states are Sokoto State, Katsina State, Kebbi State, Kaduna State, and Borno. These are states that are bordering Niger, and they are already suffering from insecurity, with a lot of displaced people staying in IDP camps. So if anything happens in Niger Republic, these are the first frontline states that we're going to be facing the pressure of refugees trooping in, and that's not going to be very good. And so probably that is why the governor chose to talk to those governors of those states at the front line.
What is the reaction from the Nigerian military about the planned military intervention in Niger?
The defense headquarters says that the Nigerian armed forces have yet to receive order for any military intervention in the Republic of Niger following the coup that ousted the president. Also, the Director of Defense Information in Nigeria, Chuku so he is a brigadier general, said that he has also dismissed an online report that says Nigerian army was assembling its forces for military action in Niger. According to him, the armed forces have not received any order from the appropriate authorities to commence military actions against military junta in that country.
Thank you very much, Naomi, for joining us tonight on the show from Nigeria.
Thank you for having me.
Nigeria there. Naomi Kombenda, who's our Nigerian correspondent on the program. We'll come back to Liberia now. We'll look at much more issues. On a trending issue in the country, and I want to talk about this before we can have our guests for the next 30 minutes. It has to do, fellow Liberians. Mr. President of recent, when he attended the Farmington Declaration, where they've gone to sign, and let me say kudos to the president about this again, where he reconfirmed about his commitment to upholding the tenets of democracy, where everyone will be allowed to go out and campaign and do what it's supposed to do, and there will be free, fair, and transparent elections in this country. This should go out to all the politicians, and I will be particular at a particular time. No matter what we think and see, we need to bear in mind that we need to maintain the peace of this country, and we need to know how to go about doing our campaign activities. No one will stop you to, put out your message or messages out, but the manner in which you do it, it should not come in conflict with other or that will bring problem. Mr. President is a very peaceful man. Every one of us know there's something you don't need to talk. Say President Weah is not that kind of a person. He's a peaceful person. But I want to speak on two major issues. One is with the CDC Youth League, headed by Emmanuel Johnson. Another one with Ambassador Joseph Newman Boaka, which I will play you the audio. We saw on social media that supporters of the CDC, particularly the CDC Youth wing. They were seen in a photograph and being watched through local online television where they were carrying a casket bearing the picture of Ambassador Joseph Numa Boaka. And that was being condemned by the party, mainly the head of the campaign of CDC, Eugene Nangbe, the Secretary General of CDC, Jefferson Koji, condemned it, including the president condemned that action on the part of the youth wing of CDC. Now, this is what that got to me. And I want to say this to Emmanuel Johnson. From what I've observed, I think Emmanuel has lost in the middle of the road. And that is sheer arrogance on the part of Emmanuel Johnson. And I want to say this. It is a sheer arrogance on the part of Emmanuel Johnson. Nobody will sit there and think say somebody will play with the peace of this country. Why is it I'm saying sheer arrogance? Hours ago, from yesterday, mind you, when that happened, it was being condemned by Eugene Nangbe, who is the head of the campaign of CDC. And on yesterday, the Secretary General also condemned it. And the president himself also condemned it. One would have thought that is sufficient enough. So who be who in CDC Youth League will think that what they've done is wrong? But this, I'm not blaming this on anyone, but I'm blaming this on Emmanuel Johnson. And Emmanuel had a gust to go on his page to justify what he has done. Now, you see, we're talking about peace here. Let's leave it. You say it's a symbolic stuff. It has a political definition, but it's like in your home. You did something wrong. Your parents that born you know what you did, know the implication of what you've done, and say you've done something wrong. But yesterday you're telling your parents that you say I did something wrong, but I know him and say I did not do something wrong. I will need to justify. And this is the case with Emmanuel Johnson. Emmanuel Johnson had a gust to go on his page to justify to what he did, even though it has been condemned. Let me beat some sense into Emmanuel's head a little bit. Maybe he doesn't understand that he has the bigger load than the Unity Party people. Unity Party, you and I know, Joe Walker cannot win elections. And so they are looking out for the slight mistake to use it as a ground to say that, oh, the government has done this. Emmanuel, you are the government. In a sense, you representing CDC. CDC is the one that leading this country. So in terms of maintaining the peace, the burden lies on your head. Because Joe made reckless statement, you should go and make the same reckless statement that could undermine the peace. Now, what you should have done and or leaders should do, you don't follow the bad path of other people, and then it makes you more even bad than the person. You've received condemnation from all your leaders, but you still don't see it to be something. You still go on your Facebook page to justify your action. Something that you shouldn't have done. Do you know the embarrassment you brought to the government? Do you know what you want to do about the peace? You still want to justify. And some of you will sit there and think, say, some of us will come and sit there and sugarcoat these kinds of craziness. When even the Emmanuel man has shown that he has lost. Now, I've said this and I continue to say this. Emmanuel was not elected on based on his competence. Emmanuel is educated, but it comes to political issue, he's a novice. No young man will go the route of this man. Observe this man since he became the youth chair of CDC. What has been the impact of the youth wing of CDC? What has been it? Nothing. The only thing is he makes speeches that has no impact. I wonder sometimes he sits and asks himself about when people like Jefferson Koji used to be the youth chair, what were the things they did? How did they impact the people? Listen, I support the re-election of His Excellency, but that's a disrespect on the part of this young man. You have the president condemning this. You have the chair for the re-election of President We are condemning this. You have your immediate boss, Jefferson Koji, condemning this. The boss, they had the guts to go on a page and justify his action. That what he did no wrong. Let me read it for you. If we not, let me say in simple English, if we are not able to tell our own the truth, and our other people can tell them the truth, that means we are not made enough to condemn other people. Listen to the rubbish Emmanuel Johnson wrote and posted on his page. He said, if so, condemn the Unity Party standard bearer who is seen in the video saying the country will come to an end when the CDC wins the election. Condemn his supporters who are seen clapping in support of his anti-peace comments. Let's stop it right there. You and Joe Barker, who's supposed to prove beyond reasonable anything to prove that there should be a peace in this country. You are the government. People will make regular statements. Yes, we will condemn Joe Barker. I have the video. I will play the video to the Liberian people. I will condemn him because he of all persons should not be saying these kinds of reckless things. But that is not the thing now. The thing here is you are the government. The onus is upon you to maintain the peace of this country. Even though the opposition are well-meaning Liberians, it is our responsibility, but the responsibility, the toughest part of it lies on the head of the government. You think you need the party people now know say Joe, we will beat them? They know. Least to talk about ANC. You think Joe now know? They know. So you want to spoil the victory? At the end of the day, they say, oh, that is seeing government men, that is seeing government people go do them well. Then when the people condemn you, you as a little man, this little man, you as a little man, Emmanuel Johnson, for you to realize your mistake and you want to justify and say because the other person do it, you will do it. That sheer arrogance, little man, you don't do that. You don't do that. Now you've lost track. You don't even know what you're doing. You don't know. You yet to get on what you need to do. You yet to convince the young people to make them to understand the workings of President George Weah. Your communication skill is poor in a sense. You don't communicate to a particular time. You don't do it. Emmanuel Johnson will come here. He will talk. How many persons will get the message in which he's pushing? He lacks that. Then you do something wrong. The people condemn it. Then you stay there justifying. He say, oh, they might go talk to the other man. So when they man do it, you'll continue to do it. If CDC allow Emmanuel Johnson to continue to lead the young people to do these kinds of things, I'm seeing that ball undermining the peace of our country. Yes. Why must he go take casket and everything? Who's praying for someone? Joe will be alive. President Weah will win him clear and clean. And he will go sit on the inauguration of President Weah. Why must he, what it implies? What the political benefits of having Joe picture on a casket? Toting it all around. What's the benefit of it? It is because you have a young man or little man that is so confused. He doesn't know where to start, how to end, and everything. He goes about doing all kinds of crazy things, and he thinks, oh, he doing something good. He passing around. Little man, since you took over, you've not done anything to impress anyone in that position. You've done nothing. Nothing. Before other people condemn, we that support the government, I will condemn you. Then the people say, what you've done is not good. Then you stay coming on to justify your action. Oh no, a little man, little man, not how I look at you. No, it is not because Joe Boakai make a reckless statement that could undermine the peace of the country or threaten the peace of the country. It should make you to go and do it. Now, what you show into that, show a leadership, correct the wrong, and provide the direction. That's how a leader behave. But because the man did wrong, then you go do wrong too. You think two wrongs can make right? No. You go to cast it. So what's the political benefit? What's the political benefit? Oh, just because they might say, oh, a little man Emmanuel Johnson to get the young people. Eh? No, it doesn't work that way. Let's go play the. Now let me come to Joe Boakai, and before we go to the lines, and our guests will join us shortly. Let me say this. In as much we will preach the politics, we'll talk about it, we'll do everything. There's one thing we need to maintain in this country called the peace. Like the president said, and he continues to say, no matter what we do, maintaining the peace is on the heads of every one of us. We need to maintain the peace of this country. Ambassador Boakai, your threat to the peace of our country, it is unacceptable. We will not allow that to happen in this country. You cannot be a political leader and continue to threaten the peace of this country. It said that you, God, say you should win election, that only you, when you've been whipped before by the same man, you forgetting? I will say some of these things in simple English. You forgetting? You have been flogged by the same man. Like the way, the people say, the joy you bring in, joy we are not being before. Then you won't make it a load that to say, oh, that's some kind of battle you're going in where you've never been defeated yet. So you say, if the people, how do you determine that our election will be rigged when you not even start campaign? So you are sensing your early defeat, but you want to put it into something to give a different picture because you know that you're going to be defeated. Fellow Liberians, today, let us leave our political issues aside. I support the government. I support the president re-elections. And I will continue to preach the good messages of the president for his re-election. I will do it. But I've condemned somebody from the CDC. Like I'm condemning Joe Boakai now. Joe, of all persons, shouldn't have said what he said. Let us put our political issue aside. Let us speak to the people. We're talking about peace here. Listen to what Joe said, fellow Liberians.
That's why you have to protect it. If you think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country. We're not going to allow that to happen.
You listen to Joe? You listen to a statement that should speak like a father, saying that if someone rigged election, that's the end of this country. Do you know what it means? So I want you people to understand, if you can have Joe Boakai of all persons saying such, it is time for we that in the government and support the government to show them leadership. Let us, like the president said, and all the other people that are supporting the president, let us look at issues oriented. We should not be trivial into what we discuss. Let's tell the people what the government has done. Do you know that this government has done much more better than their governments? Oh, yes. We need to tell the people. We don't need to come be fighting. Let it be fighting aside. The people will get to know them at the appropriate time. We will beat sense into their heads. But listen to Joe again.
That's why you have to protect it. If you think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country.
Are you listening to Joe? He even going to the extent to say it is the end of this country. We should condemn him. That is a serious threat to the peace of our country. That is a serious threat to the peace of our country. You cannot do that as a political leader for the opposition political party, one of the opposition political parties. You can't be threatening the peace. Who you think you are that you're going to win elections here? Have you won election by yourself? You've gone to election, you got whipped by this very same man that is about to whip you again. Then you come and say, we need to condemn Joe Boyka today. United partisans, you all need to condemn this man. Seditions, you all need to condemn little Emmanuel Johnson. You all need to condemn him. And you need to condemn Joe Boyka for that reckless threat against the peace of our country. 07709079070 07709079070 07709079070 Let me tell you something. Some people in this country don't have the means to leave from here to go anywhere. The only place people depend on is this country. So we need to maintain the peace of this country. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a gospel calling from Division 5 Firestone Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the issue that you're just discussing about the United Party, you are 100% correct. But you know, my brother, there one thing over and over two is not correct. I'm not opposing what Joe Boyka said. I'm not saying that he's 100% right to see these wars. It's not correct. But every time you're just CDC, they put just predating the man death. Just predating the man death.
Hey, man, what Dev got to do? What Dev got to do? What Dev got to do with the men not winning elections?
Put the whole country into fear. And it's not correct.
Oh, so you support Okay, thank you. Hello. Good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Isaac who's in. I want to finish.
Hey, you coming in too bad, my brother. I can't continue with you, please. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Darius here, calling from Caldwell.
Caldwell, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I want to say something. What Joe Boyka is saying there, it's very bad.
Very, very bad.
Joe Boyka is a very hard stakeholders in this country. He got a large followers. If Joe Boyka says something and people go after what he says, it will be bad in this country.
Mm-hmm.
We pray that God will strengthen him to say words that will bring encouragement and peace to this election.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me take this person. Oh, he wanted to speak about little Emmanuel Johnson. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, from Sekou, as I said, this is using as on you from. As I was saying, I said,
you're breaking. Hello? Good evening.
This is Raymond Charlie. I join you from Patton this evening.
Raymond, go ahead.
Sekou, you and Emmanuel Johnson no different. You're the same. You're the same point you want to bring care in this country 2020. You're getting fake results. You get Guinea background. You want to bring war in the country so you can go. But if they walk in the country because of you, will kill you and quote your ballot today.
You say what kind of background again?
Will kill you and quote your ballot. Your ballot will quote your ballot and eat it. You say we shall read. If you just make a step to support those that doing evil in the country, will kill you your ballot, will quote your ballot.
Okay, let me take another person on the line. Jana to say can kind Rama to say.
This is Emmanuel Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm phoning from District 6.
Go ahead.
Let me use your platform to welcome.
No, we're not doing it yet.
Huh?
We're not doing it. Go ahead to the point. Why is it you don't want to go by the rules?
Okay, let me go by your rule. Let me commend Joe Boyka for saying what he said. Let me say this. An attempt for this president to rig this election.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, President Sebu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my lad, and I said this as it was in a
Yeah, I say go ahead. Hello, Isaac. Oh, too bad. Your background is very bad. Hello.
Hello, Seku.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Seku, that is my Olisa for the president of citizens.
Mama, go ahead.
Yeah, Seku, first of all, I want to tell you thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to agree with you on the other side, but I want to disagree with you on the other side.
Go ahead, Mama.
Seku, you are in this country where people disgrace the president, and people, even representatives say, okay, a poor woman in this country. Nobody condemns.
No, Mama. Oh,
Nobody.
by that time, that's not election time. But this time we in that election, we need to be careful. I'm not supporting anybody of insulting the president.
They're not fighting people. Talking careful, not fighting. Hey, you see that? When I fight them, people that even love violence. To your cancer, citizen to your cancer, you're not fighting one another. Nobody touch you one another. Nobody touch you one another. Jump on that shit. Jump on that wheel. That's how you don't before.
He ain't got no history. He ain't got no history of winning that.
So then they get up also. You know the people for the wheel before we are ready election. But I want to win. But when I want to be one, no one is like going to play anyone when I carry the country. They will play any kind of way. No one will carry the country. They don't go to the food of cancer. We will play one cancer. No one ever take one another.
Okay,
so
Baba.
cancer is not bounty. They come president here. They do a lot of things here. They tell them a job president. We are here. Nobody talk. Nobody fund them. They don't go to the food of cancer. We are controlling to our cancer. We say we're better job bagger for electricity. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me take another person here. Good evening.
good evening, Seku. How are you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Seku, what if probably say probably maybe you didn't understand it. It probably does not mean that. It doesn't mean that when CDC win, the country will get destroyed.
It is totally.
And stealing everything that what the
My
old
man. No, it is not
That's not
justifiable.
what the old man means.
It is not justifiable.
To explain what he means. Ask him what he means, but the way he
How you can't say, my as a man, you're supposed to be threatening the peace, be saying we'll go back to war. Hello?
Hello, Seku Charlie. This is Rosa Sonali calling from ESW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for the topic on the discussion. I know why you the part of the channel to say, but yeah, we have a story. So, 2017 election was between Yumavaka and our current president, President George Manuel William. He says that you all 40 and 50 countries, plus you winning 40 countries. So, like we have also, the Baka you talking about, we are ramping before, so we are beaten again. So, thank you.
Ellie, thank you very much. Hello? Hello? Let me take this person. Good evening.
Good evening, Pastor. How are you doing?
Yes, go ahead. Please.
I'm Julius P. talking about 24th Street.
Go ahead.
I don't want to call, but I'm young and I'll call you and threaten you.
Need that man. I want to kind of run my feet there. You did it.
Left before your time.
You did it. I'll be saying that.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me take this person here. We have our guests already with us. Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Seku. My name is Shek BK Chile, and I'm joining from my usual residency in District 12. I would like to say this probably maybe about I don't know if you call it little, but I will say this to you. Actually, I have no problem with Emmanuel. I mean, I know Emmanuel or I don't have.
I call him Little Emmanuel Johnson.
Okay,
Little Emmanuel Johnson.
I don't have one problem with Emmanuel.
Very Little Emmanuel Johnson.
Okay, I don't have one problem with Little Emmanuel Johnson or B Emmanuel Johnson. I will say this.
Mm.
Mr. Walker spoke hypothetically. He said, let the government steal the election. And the government, let me also what he said.
Oh, so you
Mr.
get a
Kelly.
problem with the two people, right?
No, I'm coming. What is it? And for me, the man said, if he spoke hypothetically, that if the government steal the election, then there will be no more. And I will say this myself too. The only thing that he can steal this election and go to.
Look at the English you're speaking. How do people steal election? Sometimes when we can speak, we don't understand. There's nothing, that whole thing you say you wrong. People can steal election. Yeah? You say one job we are steal. You know what the nigga steal?
Yeah, good morning,
Yeah.
Shebu.
We'll open English class on the radio. We'll tell people how to write. Yeah, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. You're live. I don't get anything you say.
Let me just remind the car, which I was saying you cook your body and you will eat it. You're old level. Well, let me remind you that Mama this year, said, when you day by the president, we have become president. So you remember that people, election, I know you yourself for that same place, so you can tell you.
I know.
That's not for the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, but why you keep cutting people off when people try to explain and you just cut them off?
I'm controlling this show. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, boy.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sego, you know the party guy, you know the party could know. Yeah, all the real level, 2005, the bed TV. So, and that's a city job we are doing. So,
Yeah,
the
leader.
bone again will election, the bone in a bed cheating, but cheating again we are set that you for cheating again with you. So, it's a real
Go ahead. You're live. Oh, okay. Let me take this person.
Bear with me.
Hello.
Hello. You can't bear with me.
Yes.
I don't know how with this. Hello.
You are live, sir. Please go ahead. Good evening. Okay, I'm gonna take the last person on the line. Then we take a break before we join our guests. Good evening.
Yeah, I always say thank you for your service. Prince, I'm calling from District 15.
Prince, go ahead.
I just want you to forget about that fellow that I was threatening you. And two, the Unity Party people think that the peace that we're all enjoying today, they can destroy the line. The line, and we are watching them. So I just want to say thank you. God be with you for the topic.
Thank you very much. Let me say this before we take a break. I wanna some of you. Let me say this. Not everyone in this country have the opportunity to leave from this place. If anything happens in this country, you will not sit down where you sitting now. In the simple Liberian English, you will not sit down there. All will be running. You ain't take time say some of you that you will be in a worse case issue where to leave from one place to another. So we don't need that. We can discuss the issues and we don't allow political leaders to be threatening peace as if to say he signed a document where only he's supposed to win elections when he has been whipped before by the
participation, especially in the job we are led. And my name is Hannah McCord Cabo. I am the Deputy Minister for Manpower Planning, and I will also introduce myself as the labor and gender specialist on this via re-election campaign.
You have a very big position, though.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say good evening to you, Madam Vivian Akoto. How you doing?
Thank you, Sekou, and thank you so much for having us as well. As a person who is very positive and passionate about gender in Liberia, I am so excited to be able to share my experience and expertise and be a part of the media team for the re-election of His Excellency President George Manawia.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, there's a saying that most of the people in CDC, most of the things you do, they have educated people for the sake of the public so that they would know, you know, you have intelligent, educated people within this entire group. Will you just tell us about, I know you're the minister, you work at the Ministry of Labor. Let us know about your educational level a little bit, please.
So my name is Hannah Macaulay Cabo. I am a graduate from the Berlin School of Economics and Law. I hail from the trade union background. I have a BBA in accounting, and also I'm trying to do my PhD in international law related. Little bit about Hannah Cabo. I work as a general specialist and at the UNDP, where while I was away in Ethiopia, since Liberia is my home country, so we cannot be specialists. We have to be an analyst. So I also serve as general analyst at the UNDP, where I run projects in terms of women participation in these elections. In Camp 2017, it was my project. So yeah, I'm glad, like what Vivian said, I'm glad to talk about those good things that have happened in this region.
Okay. Vivian, what about you?
Okay. I have uh, economics and accounting degree, and I'm also involved with gender. I'm a gender advocate, and I've attended different conferences and different trainings when it comes to gender empowerment and gender advocacy. The organization I lead is not a political movement rather, but I'm the president of the Young African Women Congress, the Liberia chapter. It's a congress, an organization of young women all across Africa, and we are presently based in 13 different countries. And I'm the head of the Liberia chapter, so I've been involved with women empowerment for over 7 years now. I also is the executive director and CEO Mountain Foundation, which also help young women and girls become better. We empower young women, and I'm also into women advocacy as well.
Before I go to Minister Cabo, you seem to be out of the government circle, and one want to understand what prompted you to get into such.
I am actually in the government circle.
Okay.
I work with the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission.
Okay.
And
but you didn't
I
tell
was
us.
coming to that part before you cut me off.
So we'll find you.
And I've had several trainings when it comes to corruption, risk assessment, and other things. So yes, I'm involved with government as well, and I'm using whatever platform voice that I have to be able to re-elect this president because of the many things that he's done over the years.
Okay, let's know from the both of you. First of all, we go to Minister Cabo. What can you say to those of the people listening to you tonight about what this government has done? Not all, but few of them. Maybe you'll be buttressed by your colleague in terms of women involvement in governance.
So thank you, Sekou. It was interesting to know that among the number of appointees in government, statistics shows that we were 80 69, we are about 79.
Okay.
And each of these women, if if we go back to those women that are heading institutions and agencies, you see that those women who have been empowered in governance, they are making tremendous improvement when you go to fisheries,
Okay.
you go to public work,
Mhm.
gender, health.
Mhm.
These women are one of the key factors that we have to come on this show to sit.
Mhm.
When you come to some deputies
Mhm.
like me,
Mhm.
as a deputy minister of labor, I have played a very key role in governance. If it tells you that some decisions that we are involved in to ensure that this president have a second round is like decisions that affects women participation, giving women's confidence that yes, when President Weir shall have appointed you or appoint you, that you are capable and you have those expertise that you brings on the table. For instance, Hannah Cabo. Hannah Cabo is from the labor background, right? We champions labor advocacies. At the Ministry of Labor, we are talking about workers' issues. Let us go to the worker union. How many workers' union have signed collective bargaining that is a game that this minister Hannah Cabo has been involved into? At our involvement at the Ministry of Labor, we set up a gender unit where we feel that if this unit is being set up, it will give women confidence. Other women who have not been appointed by this president will also be seeing that their voice in other expertise, such as child labor, trafficking, policies and research, and so many other things. Let us come back to Mana Glasgow. With the appointment of Mana Glasgow within this government, you have seen what this woman have done. They have motivated and motivating many other women who are out there to see that if they are given the opportunity to serve, they will be a mentor or what, a motivating step that she can make a difference. So, with all of these achievements, the public work minister roles, the development of roles, empowering other women as directors that will see themselves empowered, that could make this president significant. Mind you, these elections or last election, mind you, majority of the women that brought majority of the people that brought President Weah to presidency is women. So women voices that we are here today on this platform to give women to feel the importance that they can be feels that they can have their voices and be met and be participating in politics is very key to this particular election of President Weah. So I'll pause here for Vivian to
Let me
come
let me
in.
go to Vivian. Vivian, what are some of the things apart from what your colleague mentioned? You think the government has done allowing women full participation?
Seku,
Mm,
there are too many things.
mm,
And normally I call the president the feminist in chief.
mm,
This man has done so many things to improve women participation in politics. And just to name a few, for example, like she was saying, there have been so many appointments of women to powerful positions in government
that you think has never
that
happened before.
exactly that has made impact even as we speak. Take for example, Her Honor
Mm,
CNAU that was appointed by the president a few months ago.
mm,
A woman is sitting at the highest seat of the Supreme Court. Is that not a gain for us? That some of us as young women can even look up to and say tomorrow we can be better, we can make impact in our nation. For example, as she talked about what's her name? at NAFA.
Emma Glasgow.
Emma Glasgow, that woman I admire so much. Anthony Pilla Boka at the Human Rights Commission. Safwa May Gray, who is the CEO
Yeah.
of NOCA
Noka.
presently. Marvin Dix, heading Commerce Ministry, one very powerful ministry, a very powerful woman. Wilhelmina Jala of the Ministry of Health, and so many other people that
Go ahead, talk.
so many other people that we cannot name on this platform right now. The president, I was in Ghana like in Uganda, sorry, a few months ago, giving a solidarity message for my Liberia chapter here, and I made mention of that in my solidarity speech. That I stand as a young woman that is very proud that right now, as we speak, we have women that are sitting in powerful institutions in our country and are making sound decisions for the betterment of our country. So just to name, just to talk about that. Another thing that I feel so proud about to sit here today and talk about this president is when this year, February 6th, this year, FGM was abolished in Liberia.
Under this government.
Under this government. Is that not again?
It is something that have been fought to have it abolished. I can
Exactly.
remember in other governments, like they just ended government.
Exactly. I know there was some executive order that was done by the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf-led government. But this government took upon it and made sure that it has been abolished. That is a gain for us as young women.
No, there's something very important that women who have interest, or some of the difficulties that women were being faced with when it comes to such.
For example, I wasn't in that unfortunate situation.
Yes, but just
But for example, there were some people, like I said, I'm into women advocacy as well. So there were some people that were able to speak, especially some of our mothers back then, who were forced to go to those sandy bushes, rather, and out of that their will, they had to. Too many other things that was like of a disadvantage of them when they were involved with that FGM. So just to go ahead and name, that's another thing that the president did that had me, so overwhelmed. Is the fact that the Domestic Violence Act, a legal instrument that seeks to abolish all forms of violence,
against
method against women, children, meant to sign and pass into law in 2019. That is a gain for me. Also, there has been trained magistrate, prosecution case, liaison officers, and yeah, even victim support officers that have been assigned in remote areas in and across Liberia, that has been trained, that has been deployed to support women and girls. For example, everything is Monrovia, Monrovia.
which
Those
Monrovia is
places,
not like
exactly, in the bush, in the interior places, when women and girls are faced with cases like rape and different things, there are people there that are able to hear them, that are able to intervene. Even before, the central government, that has its head office, general ministry in Liberia, are able to even reach to those places. So for me, that is a major gain. Another thing that I want to speak on shortly is the establishment and functionality of Criminal Code E, specializing in the prosecution of sexual and gender-based violence cases in Bon County and Nima counties in 2018. That is a gain for me. And because of so many things and because of time, I cannot go on to say that I am so proud to support this president as a gender advocate.
now. It is legal that we are allowed to campaign,
Of
to
course.
speak out to people and tell them, give them reasons why they should let or re-elect His Excellency President George Weah. Women out there are listening to the both of you, and we want to use your story or you people's stories as a motivating factors to encourage young women. Like the way now and then people will use the story of the president that he came from nowhere, now he's somewhere, now the world can discuss it. How can your story, Vivian, can encourage a young woman or young girl who think that there's no more hope, that no matter what the conditions are, under this government, things will get better and it will come to a point that that person's life will be changed.
Mm, I like that. Personally, I am, as a young woman
Mm,
coming up,
mm,
I am even inspired
mm,
by the likes of those names that I called,
mm,
that were pointed by this president
mm,
to become a better version of myself. The fact that I sit back and hear that Her Honor,
mm,
Tiene Yo, is heading the Supreme Court bench,
mm,
I am so inspired that I can be somebody tomorrow. So the fact that I see these women, Emma Glasgow, and
mm.
all of them that are in those high positions that are making impact, that they're able to make those impact, I am inspired. And because I am inspired in my little way, I'm doing my possible best to make sure that my life, you know,
Mm.
I will push and be a better version of myself to inspire the younger generation as well. That when they see that, I am making some headway, I'm taking education seriously, and I'm able to turn my life into something, they too will be inspired to become something.
So let's hear you, Hannah. How can your story, motivate someone, maybe a young girl out there that think that there's no hope, but they can be reassured that under this government, something could happen positive for them.
Seko, I think I am a good example for many young women.
Mm,
I came from a background where there were male dominant,
mm,
which is a labor union. We had two labor sector, and the labor sector they are all male dominant,
mm,
and we were asked to merge two labor sector. There were no female coming forth,
mhm,
and I came forth, merged two labor sector, and that's how I got master degree. But merging the labor sector, I talked to myself that there was no other female joining me. I was the female general
mm,
right there. So what we did was we 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 had this position only for women participation.
mm,
With that, today we have the first vice president position only only for female participation. With this, it is a plus for me.
mm,
When I went back to school, when I came back, I wrote the then government Manasaliv
mm,
that I've come back with this expert and I would like to serve as a volunteer person.
mm.
Which for 1 year I gave my service to the Ministry of Labor before I got this promotion as the director for Trade Union Affairs. I ran that division with all an assistant minister. And I tell you, with that, the labor household statistic was issues.
Mm,
And then with other aspects of life
mm,
where young people that we felt that we have participation within the labor sector.
mm,
When I joined the UNDP, there was a slot that said that the analyst position should be only for Liberians.
mm,
When I got there, I said that all of the analyst position was male dominant, and I said, being a female and only a Liberians, I told them this position can be a Liberian position
mm.
that is only. At the Ministry of Labor, when I joined, there are so many things I have changed
Mm.
that I will maybe come back here
So it
to
means
do.
that under the Ellen's administration, you are not given the opportunity to serve as minister, but it is under this government now you're serving as
That's what
minister.
I'm coming to.
Mhm.
Yeah. So with this, with my past experience,
Mm,
right?
mm,
When I was called upon to come and be deputy minister to fill that position, I was like, wow. And many of the trade unionists,
Even though you were qualified, but you were
yes,
not given the opportunity.
no,
But it was under this government.
yes, where they felt that at under early government, they said women, young people that have a qualification could sit in the
You
position.
don't have the
You don't have the
experience.
experience. Well, all of those criteria, I was still not given the opportunity to serve. It was this government who have also me and said, come and serve. And I have been a motivating factor in my church, in my community, among my brethren, which is my brothers and sisters, where even
People
in
of your
the class,
class.
yeah, people even from the UN called me and asked me how this happened. I said because this president, the young president,
Believes in promoting
believe
young people.
in promoting women that have qualified experience that is placed into their place of expertise. So with this, many of them for the UN asked me, Anna, can I come to work with you or other places? I have one of my colleague, I will call her name, she has a law background. Why can I work? Can we come to Ministry of Labor to practice? I said no. Well, it is time and something. With time, with your own experience and expertise of how you're giving back to your country, you can be choosing. But I think this president does not fairy tales or have
Because you Gio
you
or you
Gio,
Loma,
you
no.
Loma, you Va, you Kisi.
He opens up
Well,
to promote
yes,
anyone.
like Vivian said, he's a feminist of chief, and he believes in women participation. With this, you can see simple. Among all of the appointees, we have 90 till now. We have come down to 70, and he have not changed. And our reason I have not called and the chief justice Senayo. So we come back to 80 because we're just taking some statistics and
Yes,
some
so meaning it has hit back to
back
80.
to 80. So we still have 90% of women participation in this government, and that's a plus for women who are out there that feels that they don't have the expertise. They can buzz up the courage, the VPN, who and taking up other initiatives. That's why she in government wanting to see that whenever she gets out there to speak, she still fly the flag of Liberia and also talk good things that women in governance are making key decisions and making significant efforts. And this is applause for this government, and that like we can say clearly here that President Weah's second term is for sure.
Now, let's go to the political side. We've heard all the good things about what the president has done. How can we tell the people of this country? How can we give that message? Even though we've heard that President Weah has done this, he has been able to empower the young people. He's a people-centered president. He's been able to bring more women on board. When you do the statistics, like some of you have said, you have more young people being appointed under this government. Let's talk to the common people. How can we get them to vote for President Weah this time around so that he can continue to do all the good things that have been mentioned?
Beautiful, beautiful, Seku.
Mm.
It's easy.
Mhm.
It's easy to defend someone based on their track record.
Mhm.
It's difficult to defend someone if you don't see tangibles.
Mhm.
And this president, for
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
I really wanted to stick to gender issues, but no,
No, go
I will
ahead.
not stick to gender issue.
Mhm.
Um,
You can
this
go.
president, for example,
Mhm.
there are many people
Mhm.
who, especially women, single women in Liberia,
Mhm.
that are selling in the market and are doing some different kind of jobs to make sure that their children go to school and then to make sure their children have that kind of life that they did not have the opportunity, when they were coming up.
Mhm.
And this president, to take some of the weight from these parents' head, this government was able to pay the WAT fees
Mhm.
to give our mothers take some of the responsibilities from off their shoulders so they pay attention to different things. Isn't that a beautiful thing? There are some people who come to government, they don't even think about other people. But this president has done that. The market places that this president has built all around Liberia, we all know now.
Our man have been suffering.
Exactly. Take, for example, red light market.
To the Omega area there.
There were women sitting in those places. Like some of them are even selling in the streets. This president has built decent market structures to have our mothers sell from under there comfortably. For me, that is something. There are also loans. This president has worked in contact in association with Gen and UN Women.
UN Women, okay.
To be able to provide loans to market women. For me, that is something. So, in as much as everyone cannot work in central government, everyone cannot work in government, but this government is doing and has made sure that those of the people that are in the grassroots can also have some major responsibilities or some major things taken off their head so they pay attention to different things.
I don't know. It doesn't. It is not something bad. Which one of the local dialects you speak? Which one of the local dialects do you speak?
I grew up in Monrovia, unfortunately.
You want to be like me? I don't speak dialect. What about you?
The same here.
Huh?
The same.
Are you hiding something here?
No, I'm not. Right? I grew up with my mom and my dad, but I don't know for what reason we were not able to speak, communicate in our languages. It's so
so
unfortunate.
you can do it too, Vivian?
No, bye.
We ready for that answer.
For the answer.
So then you just need to talk in the colloquial because the thing is, I wanted you people to speak in your very local dialects so the people, like I said, it is campaign time to talk to them to see reason to elect the president as he continues to do what he wants to do for the people of this country and seeing almost all the things going on in the country. Let's talk about peace before we go to the lines. How do we maintain the peace during this electionary period, Hannah?
So firstly, I would want us to go back to how do we get the message to the people.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
I'm from one of the sectors that we are hoping to pass this message keen to this, which is the workforce of this country.
So you have a very large population.
Right. Under the Ministry of Labor, what we did when we got there, but also in jobs, we had to sign a bilateral agreement with the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, where we wanted to see that Liberians sit in jobs. But what we're missing, Sekou, is the minimum wage. So what we did was align what the past regime refused to do was to establish the minimum wage pool.
Yes.
Where we know that across the board, if you are a doctor, we have a specific salary for you.
You cannot go below that.
Below that, right? You cannot come from Ghana and bring one doctor that has to do a specialist. Yeah. So we encourage that to build our labor market and to protect it. We must firstly establish the minimum wage pool.
Very good.
So then we also look as minister under the administration of Charles H. Gibson. Under that, we saw that work permits were coming in for an accounting for Liberians' job. So
Jobs that Liberians could do.
So we thought not to engage them by denying them. No. So we thought to call the businesses. The Chamber of Commerce asked them, why is it that is there no qualified Liberians in Liberia to to bring this expert to do Liberian job.
Mm.
So there was just some challenges, right? So what we intend to do was to train 500 persons.
Mm.
These 500 persons were trained, the capacity were built, and the jobs were also.
Mm.
And we tell you we have almost 3,500 person who we have trained and also being sent to the various concession.
Mm.
AFCOM and like AFCOM, which is in Ghana and Nima,
Mm.
500 Liberian has been filtered into their job system
Mm.
with a specific salary. Now 150 the minimum wage
Mm.
or the decent work bill said no, be mounting the same. So we have about 5 persons now going to beer factories, different companies around here. So we have 3,000. Under this government, we tell you that the labor market under President Weah
Mm.
administration has been calm. We have regulated the Decent Work Act. The trade union has this thing called collective bargaining agreement.
Mhm.
We have about 10 multinational companies that here that's very tangible,
Mm.
that their CBA has been signed, and workers under that concessions, they are making no less or below the 7,500 under the signed CBA. It's a challenge. I put it up because beer factory for their CBA, called B Mountain for the CBA. So with the labor market, we can
And
assure
all
you
this good thing is happening under President Weah's administration.
President, we have
Exactly.
something. The minimum wage bill has
Because
been sound.
in the past, I know of people who bring, even you don't take time, they want to bring, sorry, let me say the simple I bring, they don't want to bring somebody to be sweeping.
Yeah,
Yes.
B Mountain was one.
So in this government now, you people have been able to regulate it to say no.
No.
There are jobs intended for Liberians.
Yes.
And this president here, he's been loved by his people, so we will
Right.
not do things, out of the way.
Mhm.
So we have these things regulated where Liberians will be given jobs and all of that in the country.
Yes, under the watchful eyes of Charles Gibson.
Okay, so that's a very good news and a very
Mhm.
good message there.
Mhm.
Now, for those of you listening, you're listening to the program Issues of Today on Voice of Liberia. We have two of Liberia's best females. They are our guests tonight on the show. We're talking about the successes of the government, what the president has done and continue to do, and giving you reasons and asking you so that you can see reason to re-elect President Weah as he continues to do all the good things in the interest of this country. And someone said, you people want to talk about development in terms of what the government has done in terms of maybe roles, some other areas.
Yeah, of
Mhm.
course.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's easier to defend this president
Mhm.
because he's actually done so many things. There's only the blind that cannot see the development that President Weah has done.
Mhm.
I will just talk about a few that
Mhm.
are very important to our
We know there are many
day-to-day
things that the president has done. We
well-being
can
in
talk about all.
Liberia. For example,
Mhm.
LEC.
Mhm.
LEC, there has been connection of 140,000 households
Right.
of 800,000 people to the LEC grid since 2018.
Mhm.
And this government has invested more than 65 million to
Mhm.
bring the electricity from Cote d'Ivoire
Mhm.
through the CLSG lines.
Mhm.
And guess what they did?
Mhm.
They reduced the cost of electricity from 35 cents per kilowatt
Mhm.
hour to US 21 cents per kilowatt hour.
Very low. Yes.
Some of us
Mhm.
have had opportunity to travel
Mhm.
around, and we see how cheap electricity is in some of the other countries.
Mhm.
And when this government took over, it's one thing that they did that has really amazed me. Because electricity is something that we need on a daily basis.
We need it. It's
If
part
the
of
price is
us.
high and people cannot afford it, it becomes difficult for people to have a comfortable way of life. And this government has made sure to drop LEC. Let's be for real.
Mm.
LEC has been so stable.
Mhm.
So
It is what
stable.
we're using now.
Seriously,
At
so
first,
stable.
at first we use the generator 24 hours.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Now we see, okay, so I'll move on to infrastructure and road.
Mhm.
This government has built 235 kilometers of
Rules.
primary rules between 2018 to 2022. We see the Ganta Harper paved road. This government has connected Ganta and Harper and has paved the road. We also see that there's a major work going on the RIA right now, you know, and in the next year or so, we're gonna have a major highway that will be accessible to all of us as Liberians. So that's something that is commendable under this government as well. Look, there is one major road that I use all the time, and it's a Topman Boulevard Road. There is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place that President Weah has put out there for the Liberian youth. Every day is busy. The Invisible Park.
That's something very important.
There is somewhere. It's not only that place. There are other places around Liberia that he's building as well. But that is something that is so amazing. The fact that Liberian youth got somewhere that they can go to. You know, we're talking about drugs. We're talking about all these things that are affecting Liberian youth. When they have something to entertain them, when they have somewhere they can go to, they won't be involved with all those things that they are involved with. And that is one thing that the president has done that is so commendable as well. He has invested over US $1 million in transforming at risk youths. So just to touch on that.
Okay, you want to say something before we go to the lines?
Let's go to the lines.
Okay, so you're listening to the show Issues of the Day on Voice of Liberia 104.1. My name is Siku, and I'm Siku Sharif. We're here tonight discussing some of the great things. I have not announced the numbers yet, though. Some of the great things the president has done, and we're asking you, Liberians, to re-elect President George Weah so he can continue all of the good things. My two guests tonight is my two guests. They are Minister Hannah Macaulay Cabo. She's the gender and labor specialist within the group, the movement or intellectual movement to support the re-election of President George Weah. And then you have Vivian Akoto. She's the deputy head of Secretarial Music and Entertainment here tonight. We are preaching and telling you about the president and asking you, Liberians, so that you should please re-elect President George Weah so he can continue the good job he has started doing in this country. 0770907 907 0770907 0880907 are the numbers to join us here. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Secretary. This is Delino Bryant, member of the re-election of George Weah, a media secretarial member, member.
Delino Bryant, this nation's familiar.
Yes. Pleasure, bro. How are you this evening?
It's been a while. I'm good. Let's hear you.
I'm here quietly. Now we are totally involved to ensure George Minor Weah is re-elected. And I'd like to say a salutation to my two colleagues in the studio there. Guys, you are doing extremely well. And one of the questions you were asking, then still when it comes to the infrastructure. And we all know that the infrastructure plays a major role in any given country. When you have a perfect infrastructure, it connects you to social health, it connects you to economic recovery. Like you were trying to give one of the examples, let me be very practical. I come from a very practical background as an entrepreneur. George Minor Weah took over in 2018. There is something that is very significant that many of us in Liberia don't know. But one of the experts external at the Ministry of Public Works, working for the German International Cooperation, when we drafted the act to create the National Road Fund and the Road Authority. That act was passed. There were no decisions to even pick up the document. People were afraid to relinquish the power from the Ministry of Finance in collecting funding just for road work. Nobody could do it. But President Weah took over in 2018. By that time, I rolled over into the private sector. The MCC cornered the MCC compact and what we call the MCAL. The MCAL came into 2016, 2017, and then the Millennium Challenge compact came into fruition. I was offered to again to work for the U.S. Department of Roofing under George Minor Weah's government as a local contractor. First time ever a Liberian company was offered to provide service. And because at that time, Mr. President, we had thought it wise to pick up with run with the road fund. We started a road fund. And the road fund today, you see, that's what the first person Liberia was funded to have road fund collecting money just for road work. Over 5 years, and then nearly 6 years, we all have seen, currently we all have seen, money collected just for road fund. And this money is coming from where? From fuel levy. From fuel levy. And this has been a trouble to do. It has been very difficult. All the roads you see we constructing today, this government is constructing, is 100% for you and our money simple. The money you pay every month, the money, the little man down the street that can buy gas to put a generator on is paying towards road construction. This has never happened in Liberia. I challenge anybody who can tell me say this has happened before. Collecting money directly just for road fund, collecting our money, use it for road. And now we come up with a new strategy. Give George we had a chance for re-election. A new strategy we're going to use a lot of sources. I don't want to call those sources out here because our strategy. We got a lot of sources will collect more money that will be able to extend to all the network. Liberia have a very small network, over 10 kilometers, over 10 kilometer of roads, just a little over 10 kilometers. We all know that when we took over power, when George Biden we had took over power, it was just a little over 700 kilometers of peace. Just a little over 700 kilometers. Now we're talking about 1,000, pretty for 1,000, pretty 1,200 kilometers have been paid. So you do the math. Now you can easily drive from Johnsonville, easily.
Oh, okay, we lost him. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, too bad. Good evening. You didn't. Okay, sorry. I can continue with you. You came in very bad. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Chico.
Good evening.
Hello, Chico.
Good evening, sir. You are live.
Yeah, my name is Kokachise, the ambassador of Port Liberia. And as the lady said, to defend the president is very, very easy. And if you call the late child who is president, we are a late child will tell you that he's one of the best African president in this world. And then what Joey have been doing is uncountable. And one of the best reasons why Liberians want to vote president we are is there are things that Liberian students or Liberian children or Liberian people have never been seen. Like number one is football. And the second big one that it will shock the whole country is behind the barrier on the beach. If you go behind there, you see that stuff. Before the election, everybody go there. It's obvious that president we have going to win the election. There are so many people like my mom coming from River said. She said that what River said, what the president doing there is uncountable. So I said, oh man, how everything? They say, oh man.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Augustine Harris, and I'm calling from Cloudtown this evening.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really want to commend your two studio guests. I mean, they spoke very fine. All the things they talk about gender are all good. So let me tell you, since I've been knowing myself from the day I was born, never slept on a roof highway before. God took me from Monrovia to Lofa, to be exact, around my area.
And it happened under this government.
Under this government, I'm telling you, under this government.
That what the barroom medicine can do.
Yeah, definitely right. Despite people seeing the kind of way back from that we don't have no termination, or your uncle can be running, then you go for another person. This is not no uncle business.
No uncle business, Baba. We're not gonna say that uncle can't swallow it in our hand.
We want something that we want something that is visible, and we're seeing it. Every routine, seeing what is happening there. Look, I slept from Banga. Only to that mean that we're already around the area. We're asking nothing. You understand?
It's a very good testimony.
I have never experienced something with one. Like today, I can enter a car and just drive to Zoso and car right back. And besides that, just 2-3 days I drove between Anazé to my Barclay, to my utmost surprise. In no time, I mean, I was to my Barclay. I asked for where is it? Say, oh, in my Barclay. And I drove. And then from Ganta to Sanikure, from Sanikure to Campley, It's pure. If I from Gata to San Francisco, 5 quota, you will travel now with your close.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's it for you. You're listening to Liberians telling you about what they're benefiting from the leadership of President Weah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my dear brother.
Good evening.
This is testimony partly joining you from the national headquarters of campaigning of the Market Coalition for Democratic Change, and I join in as a member on media and communications for the national campaign team.
Testimony Barclay, we need to go to Bombay County though.
So we will be going there for the West Division bombing and I can show you that it's done to you. It is achievable.
Yes.
But to the point, let me extend thanks and appreciation. I'm so grateful and wonderful for the two distinguished members of the Sakitara for the kind of analysis they are providing to the Liberian people. And one thing that makes me be very clear about this other campaign, this 2023, is that the ladies, women are getting involved in the process because over the years, certain are backbenchers. But today, if you come into the CDT, you see that the ladies are playing major and key role. They also want to use this to thank the Secretary General, the chairman of the party for the inclusion of women in spreading the affairs, because women, when they lead, all us will follow. So I want to say thanks to you, Sebu Shari, for the job you do. Thanks to the two of them for the analysis they have provided, and we pray and hope that these are some of the things we pray for. We are just there to foster the interest of President Weah, because some of us, we can't sit back and watch.
Thank you very much. Let me take another person here. Good evening.
Good morning. Hello, Seku.
Yeah, good evening, Mama. How you doing?
Yeah, this is Ma Orita Go, the president of the Chicken Factory.
Ma Orita, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Seku, I want to tell you thank you. You see, Seku, the things that we are doing for us in this country, we're not able to count it. When we count it, no matter if I think that we count it, then nobody will count on the shade.
Yeah.
Because it takes so many things. You know what? If you take to the one thing, what are the people? What say the other people? Here. It's not me, the process I was killing the youth to sit online, so they can come in a room and go and register. When you go in and you see that, our roads are there, hospital, simple, without all of kindness. Some people don't understand they have the opportunity. They squander it. And so they are coming back and telling us what they reacting, they still like their country because they develop a plan. So they're coming with their something to see, they start fighting again. They start fighting the contact. So they start the real place. When we talk about free, like they have no normal.
Thank you. Let's get in one round. When you say one round, you roll my mind to too many things. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, Seku.
Go ahead.
How are you? Thank you for bringing those two women in studio.
Oh, yeah, Mama. We need to bring our sisters there to talk.
Yeah. My lady is your hello. That the grandmother, that the chair lady for the United Grandmothers for President Weah re-election. His name is Demako Yenge. I think you were asking those people, the part that got me interested is when you were asking them whether they speak some dialects or tribes or vernaculars.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very, very important, people.
Yeah.
These analysis these people are making. I think it's better we put them on the campaign trail so that they can go into the vernacular or tell people that know these vernacular so that they can be able to explain it to our people. Because our people right in Cape Town, they're suffering from who they more vote for. The last time they did it from Atlas West. She was in Cape Town. She went to 9 towns. 9 towns. Telling the people they were not vote for. They were not vote for President Weah. President we are, suffering too much. They must vote for UP government. They must vote for Joseph Boakai. These two women, I think Seku make the effort so that they can be on the campaign.
So they do. Two people that don't see them, so they on the team.
Let the women be on so that they can be able to tell our people why we must vote this president back for the second time. And I'm always telling people, this president coming for the second time, Liberia will be good. Liberia will taste the fruit of this week. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies in the studio. Continue it. Don't stay in the studio. Come out and talk to other women, talk to your folks, so that we all can vote this president on October 10th.
Thank you very much. Let's take this person. The calls are many. I'm not sure we'll take all the calls. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you.
This is Peter Macaulay.
Thank you for that magnificent recognition.
Mm-hmm.
I remain the political officer of the National Response and Defense Team, and a proper defender, and I join you from District 9, Montserrat County. And I want to say good evening to your studio guests. People in this country will not create any rocket scientist to come and tell us who will win the election. People will get all easily to get talented people.
Yeah.
We get people who speak all the vernacular in the country.
My brother, they say the CDC people not educated. Ain't you listening to the two women education background? Well educated people.
We get people trying to say we are not educated. We will use our little education we have
to transform this country.
And transform the country the way they say.
They are educated, let it go to BB Bo.
You are educated, you know your PhD, yes. We are doing you. The way where the hospital is. Today, you say we educated on today, Apollo Kande get hospital. Today, you say we educated. So we go ahead to make sure it is hospital there. We have 40 military hospital. Simple. If someone would not know anything, we get educational free in the country. No. Today, you are seeing the money not can't go where Alena can't go. You will see the money still like a big compared to Jerusalem at night. We are not talking about that they were using before. We are talking about 24 cents around the chat. You know, like that is how we're on. Jacob, when you come, people are telling you something serious.
I know.
Let's thank you very much. Continue to propagate the message of President George Bernard Weah. We know that the people they have made that they want to free. Seku, I believe Seku, you know that new, but let me just say it. That all for Africa.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, my brother. Woman, where's my thank you. Let me take this other person here. You'll be the last caller. And I think I need to go back to my. Yeah, Mama, how you doing? Yeah. Okay. Okay, Mama. Thank you. I think this we need to do. I don't know. It sounds something. Hello.
Good evening, Segu, and good evening to your studio, especially my boss, Madam Adam Kwabo. My name is Napoleon Douglas, and I join you tonight from Broad Street.
Go ahead.
Segu, let me first of all use your platform tonight to appreciate the minister for being five-factor to help 75% get employed at the Ministry of Labor. Under this leadership, young people have sent factors in government. As we speak, I just wanted to sharply a contradiction I heard today. People saying, Honor George Weah, there is no company in the country for good of benefit. There is a Chinese company here called Biochico. They are currently based in Bombay and that of Babul County.
Mm.
The massive development that is going on in Bombay as we speak now, they are building an airport, they are a seaport. They call about Chico will be transferring iron ore from that place to the seaports to carry it. Our young people have been getting employed there, job opportunity has been created. So why would people come and say under this leadership, no company have come to develop or for create job opportunity? When they sit in Morovia, they don't know what's happening in the rural areas they talk. If you go to that place, you see young people are working. The way they used to burn coal, they are not burning coal that now. They're working. So we just want to appreciate this government and call on the Liberian people to give Mr. William, President William, another 6 more years to be able to develop the country. I want to say, Minister Anna, thank you for your hard work at the Ministry of Labor, for at least working hard to make sure 75 contractors have been fully employed on a civil servant.
Napoleon Ducle of the LPDP.
Excellency George Manawiya.
Thank you very much. That is it. We need to go back to our guests. Our next batch of guests, they're already here. You people listening to all the colors. It seems to be all they've said in the same direction about the president's doing good and all of that. But let me go to Vivian. You listen to the colors and what have you to say, and as we conclude, then we'll go to Hannah.
Like I've always said on the show today, it's very easy to defend this president.
Certainly.
And just to add up,
you still won't defend.
Yes, there is this thing that is very important. You know, healthcare is very important to any country. If the people are not well in the country, they cannot go about running after their dreams, their visions, and all that. Do you know that this president has built hospitals around this country that you can even compare closely with JFK? I got an information the other day that the first laser cesarean session was done in Liberia.
Yes, I was told about that as well.
Can you imagine? We don't have to fly to our nearby countries to do these things when we have the opportunity to do them right here. Do you know how much it costs for people to leave from here, go Ghana and around and West Africa to be able to get just mere health treatment? And this president has made sure to give Liberia good healthcare systems. So I just thought to talk about that before we close this show. And even the first dialysis center at JFK as well, you know, that we need to talk about. Now, even the DNA machines is under this president that came. That at least we know people don't have to take samples and send it to different countries to be able to do it. We can do all these things right in Liberia. That's a gain for this government. And because we want him to continue what he has started, we are making sure that this president will be re-elected come October 10th for one round resounding.
I want you to use your appealing voice to the listeners in maybe less than a minute to tell them to vote for the president. Use that very attractive voice. Well, when somebody said listening to it on the radio, yeah, you know, that voice there, even though I won't do it here, but that voice I hear. Yeah.
Thank you, Sekou. So I want to speak to Liberians all around, especially the young people of Liberia, especially the young women of Liberia who have dreams and aspirations to become something better. Vote President Weah. Once you vote President Weah, there are possibilities for you to aspire and be who you want to be. We see around here, I don't want to overemphasize this thing, but we see around here that young women too can have their voice be heard. There young women now are at the decision making table, you know. So I just want to say that amongst the candidates that are running in this election, President Weah is the best choice.
What is the number he has on the ballot box as what we've been seeing out?
Well, I told somebody today I have moved to 18th Street.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay on 18th Street for the next 6 years.
We will be to
number 18 is the winning number.
Okay.
Vote number 18.
Okay, let's go to yeah, you listen to the callers and let's hear you as we wrap up.
So I would like to say thank you for giving us the opportunity on this platform. I have listened Liberians have not seen anything yet. I want them to be sure of that. Comes October 10th, we are encouraging Liberians to come up to vote and to come and vote President Weah overwhelmingly. And our voting number is number 18, which we are president of 18th Street. We have taken
So
the
you do
station.
the 18th Street?
Yes, I'm taking the station. to 18th Street, but
Okay.
so but just come and think about it. All women and young men and women, especially workers around the country, they are evidence. They have come. One of the guys came today at the Ministry of Labor. I will not call the company name. He was redundant, but then he got injured on the job. And during the investigation, he was like, Madam Minister, the people have done so much for me. I said, no, it is their social obligations to do this. They were not doing you favor.
Yes.
This Ministry of Labor, Onochas is giving has given a complete reliance to the labor market and honor any governance. The labor market stands as the economic growth of that country. I sit here as the Deputy Minister of Manpower Planning. Under this government, almost 7,500 workers has been incorporated, has been posted to concessions and all of the workplace. We are encouraging women to come also vote. And we are looking forward to you again, Seku, to have us back because there are so many things that we have not had the opportunity to research to give the Liberian people. This time around, we are not coming back with education background. We are coming with our local English.
Yeah, we speak the
to
simple
speak
Liberian.
and speak to the simple Liberian. We're so sorry to the audience that we can't speak our favorite languages, but I'm from Kidman County and
Yuva.
I'm from
So it tells
Nima.
you from if you're listening,
Yeah.
you're from Cape Mount, you're from Nimba, you have one of your sisters
Yes.
in the government to give you reasons why you should really let President Weah.
Right.
What about you, Vivian?
Oh, well, I was born in Maigibi.
Oh, but then
And my mother is also from Lofa as well, from
Lofa.
the Kolahun district.
But then you see,
We're Liberians.
so the Lufians and then the people from Mangibi, they got one of their
Exactly.
sisters, their daughters in the government.
Exactly.
But it's been a great time having you people, and I'm very, grateful for the conversation. I pray that we can continue to have these kinds of conversations.
Oh, yes.
Try to elect in the minds of the voters.
The message must be preached. The message must be preached.
So thank you, people, for coming. We will meet on 18th Street.
Of course, for the next experience. Thank you, Sekou.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all the Mendy movement for the re-election of President George Weah.
Thank you, Seku. And let me extend greetings to your listening Moka mo nyado malo brolo, moka mo nyado tirikulo, kataka di mo una di mo vote ainye. Onya ba masa chemina ne nyato ku Josh Wia. Mo benya la we bare jate ya mike monya. Aye mo mademe mo demu tala university la mu waya tala aite waya sala bola.
Let him talk small too
Ai
now.
fanante
Let him put it
university
in
sala
English.
bola.
Put it in English now.
That's good. Sebu.
Yeah.
It is good. I like the question because not everyone, once you're in Madingo, that means you speak Madingo. So it is good to get some of our brothers and sisters that want to come around, get involved into the activities. They feel ashamed because they don't speak the tribe, but though they are proud of their tribe, but because they don't speak it, so they don't come around. So we are coming now to change the narrative. So the chairman have just said that in Madingo that it's not about who gave you rest or who gave you money. We've seen the impact of a president to the community. And that's the reason why the group was funded to show in
The
which-
one he's saying, Madingo, that I want you to put in
Yeah,
English.
that's what I'm saying. So we should not go for, oh yes, people come in, oh yeah, because yeah, giving political support to a group of people that have no direction for the community. And looking at the president and the work and involvement with all the negative propaganda and all he does not relate to these community activities. So there's a need that we pledge or give support to him, make him understand, yes, what you've been hearing of this group of people, that's not the reality. So to come around this time to make you or give you the number you think you deserve. Because this is the first movement since the political history of President Weah to get a group for the Mende community
Okay.
with a specific reference of Madingo to support him.
Okay. So go ahead. So do it small, then he do it so that the people understand this entire thing. Go ahead again.
Okay. Mo nya mande na mo mande grupula. Mo den jate ya muru gouvernement lo. Wole shaya ni. Mo fana ne ya idalla mo voter di jwa wiyama sa mo adu la okoka. Mo de muru du yalo wo dule kala skole. Wo dile Musa Konele. Wo dile Idris Beletini. Wo dile Makene Kitale. Aya share mo afango ma itofo mo tena mo wila yambi. Jwa sano be wolo ni. So I do ja mo ma voter di George Wiyama sa mande ka fana ya share ma suralo.
Our people from the Mande community, especially the Madingo tribe, we are appealing to you that we have been included in the governing process as a related to President Josh Weah. We got names, we got people. Madingo man is the heir to the president. That's a very big part for our community. We got the Idris Beleti, the Memesi Kaba, the Jura Sano, and many more. So for these reasons, we see the kind of impact they have made, their contribution to us. Please, our people, let's change the perception that the president got good thinking about our community. And please join us. Let's give him another term and complete his community intervention as it relates to our community. Please.
Okay. Ade fara ni mine wole no muru ye nyai bala la gouvernement lo. Seilon we sirani. Kama soro ka seilon ke hala dere. Masa tise wo kela. Legislature no wo kela. Wa legislature do bana kela. So masa che e ata fami kela kama madame seilon we sila. Afo slama den ben kwa betu luma. Afara ntina na tala iku. Ai betu lo kama soro normally ye ka bala nyimata bala lo na ka ka bu ikule. Mebe se kafa mo ben kwa ita bar ai tuluma ai kata ba ai ta ya se kina ke ya de ma ya ufe mo fana ntina na bora ikun kama soro mo kala ya sa walo ne mini wo kirene afla na do fana mini lumba we sira mi ke ni public hala dere nya ke ni 26 li ai na la mo misila kana o ke mo fe ai do te tara chesi kile nda kata sirike wale be na misila ai bana misila ai ta chesi ka jamo la ka ba ku fulani bala ale.
Again, our people, the message is clear. Like I said, I work with Lakra. I know we're having a prayer day, a Ramadan, or April day. The president used executive order. Somebody had this for on a working day. But you use a discretion that when you're a Muslim in Baningo, you don't have a kind of work. It will not go against you. And that was because of the people incorporated from the community in government. That's a very good plus. So these are one of the strategic reasons we are supporting the president and we're supporting overwhelmingly. Like the second aspect, yes, previous government, all our arrangement, when we talk about independence celebration, they want to decentralize. Maybe they want to do it on the Christian faith. But now you see the president as part of the independence celebration protocol. The Muslim can be placed in the arrangement. Because it's not hard news. The president all visit mosque and this come around that time. So these are reason and many more. I want our people to join us to support the re-election of President Weah.
Okay, ado fana ni mini. Kata labi e blende, kada mina Joseph Jingi Rabo makana si ha maram selila. Masatima Islame e fe e vaso dita bakablai. Abete dana e vaso from the Christian sa. Wo mini kafa ala liba kabo Christian ulo. Islam uta titalo. Maybe Islam uta Christian uta kapa fana ka jamala fana ni wale mo mini ko flani balale. O fana ta ka bala kiampi mi damina sani e damina jumalo na mo bena e na wo na basic stream misila. Ata ni kata kiampi damina e kabo e no jumasi lo kata chesila. Ka jamala ka fara kunga ka kuga labia kulo. Wanya usenka Islam usenka lo yo Christian fana sin alo nyame. Abete ka Christian ko ele sha so nyitimi to sanze. Kapa ki isu sanze ki je ke Christian. Itite bala gouvernement lo. Mais dans le siège chamala jowi afana we na ka shama la okoka.
Again, we talk about political and governmental decentralization, like the president continue to do. I can remember when we have both Islamic advisor to the president and Christian advisor to the president. The one who wouldn't here is with Christian advisor to the president on religious issue. President Weah is the first president in the country history to appoint an Islamic affair advisor to him in office. That has not happened. Unless I be corrected. It has not happened. And we see, before the campaign starts on the 5th, right? On Saturday. On Friday, again, the same decentralization policy we talk about in government. The president does go, I'll go pray for my people. He will not compare to do it. He did it because he want to include us in his government process. From day one till now, he have been doing it. So, yeah, we're coming up in campaign. There's a political campaign for all different political parties. But as for me, because I've been working with my people, and I want to change the narrative that I think I've changed over the year, let me continue with them. Then there's a Friday, we pray with the people, and then that's kickstart our campaign. This is the president we're talking about, and this is the president we want our people from the Mandingo community, especially from the Mandingo ethnic group, to support our president.
Okay, if you're just joining us, you're listening to the program Issues of Today on Voice of Liberia. We have the folks from the Mendy movement for the re-election of President George Weah. They're telling us now, if you're just joining us, maybe you're not understanding. One of our guests is speaking the Mandingo, where it is being interpreted in English so that those of the people of the Mandingo tribe will understand exactly what they're saying here, so as to let them know about some of the things they're saying. There are other people that won't listen or get the English that will speak on the radio, though. So we also want them to understand what we're discussing here on the program. So just to let you know, now, how do you tell the people in Mandingo that it is important that when they go to the voting area and the number for President Weah is number 18, and they should do it so that we should not have a second round. It should be just a first round victory so that President Weah can be able to go and do more developments for the country.
Okay, au fond de Mbale seku. Moi fama mo unye. Vote we kala sunye krene ka ke sunye flale. Wala tinyere ole. Oye premier kera wali bale boto kata di NEC maka vote ke. Aflana e kera wali bale fan boto. So mota fe mo wala tiye ke wolo be se jusi la si ala damba mi ni ka si ado wala dan kala woko ka. Wolo be se jusi la e ko de wi ala ko salami bola kala woko ka. So mo mi fa mo nye jo wi a e mo tani sei na ne sebe ko ka. Ko mo mu masa ko mo ale mo tani sei na le. Ni ka konde bodam na sambe adam na mo kilima ha fo mo tani wo atani sei na jowi alewe aku mana baye mene na jowi alewe nyida fe kada mina koro wada mina koro isito mo muama mo tan ani kono ani mo tan ani sei alele mo sabanare kabo koro kabo sama mo tani sei na kabo duma mo sabana so wo konde to mo kono ni manya ye I kaba misani ta ani sei wota esira yalla la ha mo kiringire kunga yala mo premier kunga yala mo flana kunga yala mo sabana kunga hafu ise mo tani se inama kama misali tani se yeda na yomi George wi alewe ala ko yanga mo kanata ala flanaro.
Thank you very much. We tell our people that it's very simple. Election, you come with a lot of expenses, especially when you go into second round. You have to have ideas or NEC or government find ways to raise money to fund election. Because we don't want to go in a route and we just want to continue our developmental activity with the president. That if you have a ballot box, there are 20, right?
20 candidates.
20 candidates. Just count from 1 to 18. You vote for the president, rightly. He's there, George Manuel. Very clear, very visible, smiling on the ballot paper. You don't have to worry yourself. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want to count, take your time. It's not a rushing thing. Reach your 18, you just mark it up. Just you place it in the ballot board, you get our first round victory. We don't want any political negotiation or complain about anything, raise money. No. The money that will be used for the second round, if there will be, that we think it will not be, it could be used for all of the remaining purposes. So we don't have to extend our election to second round. So you can just vote 18 on the ballot paper, and that is for just and that is our message to our people.
Okay, let's go to the lines. Let me hear Liberians. Those of you of the Mandingo ethnic group, 0770 907 907 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Let's hear you tonight. You have folks from the Mandingo, so it tells you that Mandingos are also supporting the re-election of President Weah. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening. Good
Yeah,
evening.
this is Ali M. Kuma calling from Logintown.
Ali, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Anitile.
Tamatire Ali. Nike.
Moi, I will call. Moi, I suppose, moi, que Adina Jowiama. Salah Mohamed. Moi, quand on kala si moi, body movement. Liberia-VOL. Kavo Jowia la second term. Moi, support di Jowiama. Moi, support di Jowiama. Après, on a un pour ça développement, on veut continuer, on veut continuer là. Je me rends moi, pas de ma semaine gouvernement, non. Faut, et bien, même voilà, on est au Kélémadjan. Quand c'est qu'on te dit, oui, à ma, vous avez mauvais idée, puis des choses sont là, gouvernement, non.
Ok.
Le gouvernement, a pour le moment, une gestion la plus, pas pour. Pour moi, le représentant, il positionne la situation est. Après, là, les Après que moi, le gouvernement, non,
Okay, Nicky. Thank you. Let me take another person here. Hello.
Evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
My name is Frank Bigger Jr. and I'm joining from a user residence in 54.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to my brother's studio. So I am from two different ethnic groups. But they
Mandingo and Mama, but I would like to tell you that almost everything is over there, saying that the president has power to bring about Islamic religions, but in only so it should have effort for us to know as to how this is not just about Mandingo, right? But it is also about the Muslim religion. Because I listened to them saying that on Friday the president was on the Desert Street were in the Baltimore and pray for them. The huge of the water. The God that we all serve, the Almighty Allah that we serve, you know that He says that you shouldn't serve two masters. Only is one. But saying that President, we can go to church and can go to mosque, how to think? For you now, me ask you that question. I very sound. And you know, we don't want a president. We
My man,
want to
hello. Why is it everything you want to politicize is in a way? Do you know that a leader should be able to serve his or her people in all fronts?
Okay, you say why?
No, so don't can ask people here about the fate of anyone. You don't control the fate of anyone. Do you have control over the fate of people?
So okay.
No, I'm asking you. Do you have control over the fate of people?
If I have control
So
over
when
the
it means that when you go to the church, you go to one who you can judge who is representing God the right way. You can judge it. Yeah? You cannot be doing all kinds of things. This is a precedent. They say the man go to the church, he go to the mosque. So how does that in any way say that he's worshiping what now everybody not worshiping God? Hello?
you are not treating yourself.
Hello?
You are not treating
My man, what you say you not treating that fair been doing here? We ain't running competition to know whether it's fair or not. 0770-907-907-07880 are the two numbers to join us. Those of you from the Mandingo background, you have your brothers here. This group that is solely intended for the re-elections of President George. We are speaking to the conscience of you Mandingos here tonight. So you can call us. They'll serve you. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm Allah Dennis from State Street.
Mm-hmm.
Chairperson, so we are re-election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like to appreciate our brothers in studio, and we go out there to welcome the ideas. Let them just be strong enough to go to the zero places and be able to convince our brothers, as we will be convincing ours so that there can be a first round victory.
Okay, thank you. Let me let you go, please. Your background is very bad. Hello. Good evening. Good evening, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. I'm set to now tell you for this good.
Mm-hmm.
Right line.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Go ahead. You are live. You are live, though. I don't know what is it with this other line. Good evening. Good evening, Mama. Let's hear you.
Okay, your studio guest, good evening.
Mm-hmm.
This is my city again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us go start there. I think let continue it. President, we are going to pick and choose. He go to mosque, he go to church, something the same God.
And nothing wrong about it. He did nothing wrong. Yeah.
We pray to the same God. So you get to say, we are going to go to mosque. You can't judge anybody on the earth.
But the man is a leader for all the people in the country.
Yeah. If you want to pray, I think you get recording over there, you saw it as a people in Lopa. That anyway want to work all the mosque in Lopa. That one other church, I don't know what is the fellowship with that. Make it today. So let mosque in Lopa. That what I'm talking there. And you want to say leader. So I said, continue following. We'll be able to say we have re-election. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mama. Let me take this person here. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
This is not the regular line. Why you call this line?
Chief, I couldn't get you on the other line, so I tried to use my connection.
Your connection has connected you, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity. I'm Mazaburi Keita, calling from FPRC.
Okay.
Well, as we listen through to your studio guests, let me firstly extend my heartfelt appreciation to them for tonight. When they spoke accordingly, and the message is clear.
we will not listen to anything contrary. We'll make sure we push our agenda for President Weah 12 years, and we'll make sure President Weah redeem the people within the next 6 years. So I just want to extend my appreciation to your studio guest, Mr. Abraham Keita, our chairman and powerful chairman of all time, and his colleague in the chat room, in the studio there with you, and Allah in Kaba Jibla Kaba. Continue to do your good work. History will recall you and continue to appreciate you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for using your connection.
Thank you too for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you. The man has used his connection to connect. Hello.
Yeah, hello. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have something very important to raise on this your platform, please.
Is it relating to what we're discussing?
Yes, I know already.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, something I want to say today because we are all running for peace in the Republic of Liberia. And CDC is the head, is the leadership right now on the Liberian political arena. And on the 6th of the Saturday, we saw CDC carrying casket. And still,
Sorry, it's not what we're discussing here.
What are you discussing?
It's not what we're discussing. We're discussing something far from what you're saying. Sorry, sir. Sorry. I beg you, please. I will need to let you go. I canceled the other call. In fact, I will need to let you go. Like I said, what we're discussing, we need to remain within the confines of our discussion. Hello.
This is Emmanuel Duque.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we are forget about the second thing. We forgot about the second round. We go for the first round.
Yeah.
First round, there will be anybody that plays flat will be there flat.
That's it. Now, what we're talking, no second round, Benny. One round,
No
clear.
second round. Only one round we wait for.
Okay, thank you very
One
much.
round.
Thank you. Let me hold the calls because the news is up next. Let me go back to my brothers. You listen to the calls. We can take all the calls. What have you to say? Let me just squeeze in this person because the calls are too many. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You're live. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, you are live now. Go ahead, please.
We are winning this country. Yes, we win this country.
You know, every human being, they think I'm talking about human being. You know, they can do the thing on the phone, right? They make it to sound like a real human being. Yeah, you listen to the calls. Let me go to the spokesman, and then for now, I'll end with the chairman.
Thank you very much for the platform.
Mhm.
That tells you that the calls that came in, the sign of appreciation. We want to join our people again to thank you for the level of support. Like I said in my initial statement, that what we have in our data that we have collected now is about 12,000 membership right now. That was just in a course of 3 weeks. And we planned with the consultation or funding founder of the movement, Honorable Musa Kone. We will do some level of change in terms of launch because we want to do it in Monsuado, a very big launch. But because of the demand from our members from other counties, so we want to do it simultaneously. So that
So you're going in all counties?
Yeah, we want to do it one and for all. So that's what we are working on now because of the demand and the interest being raised from our membership. I mean, people won't also go into, like Chairman said, in Granty there, the demand there is very high. In River says, where I came from, and it's very hard. So we are working on that. Once it's concluded, we'll come in the same studio. We announce that when we launch simultaneously. But again, thank you very much for hosting us, and thank you very much to Musa Kone, who is the engineer and the strategy behind the movement to see that our people get involved and get a political recognition in government structure of President Weah. One round, that's it. Vote number 18. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go to the chairman. Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much. All right, first let me address the particular caller who have problem with the president going to the mosque.
Mm.
People have to understand that Liberia is a secular state that everybody should enjoy the practice of their respective religion.
Mhm.
And the president being the mother of every Liberian, the father of every Liberian, because he's the leader, he steers the affairs of the state. He has the right to visit any worship center because he's the father of every religion right now. He's the father to the Muslim, he's the father to the Christian, to the Buddhist, to every other religion, and
Mhm.
even the traditionalists. So going to the mosque, I don't think that, and that's the reason we support the president. The inclusiveness in the governance structure. He brings in everybody. He brings the young, the old. He brings the religious and the non-religious. He don't discriminate. He look for the qualified and then bring them in. So I want to tell President, we are thank you for the government of inclusion, and to our founding father Musa Kone. He has been doing extremely well, serving as the mobilization chair for CDC. He told us that his community must have a fair share within the mobilization of the CDC. And now we are leaving no school unturned. We are reaching out in every breath of this country, every spectrum of the country, that the message of the one round victory must resonate. So thank you so much. And it was good being in your studio. And to the members of the movement, especially our district coordinator, our county coordinator, we'll be reaching out to you very soon. We're coming out with the launching, the main launching date, and the date the venue will be announced. And I'm sure that, like the vice chair for press said, when we find out that, we'll get to you.
So we just got a very interesting information from our data center that says that instead of 12,000 for the last 3 hours, we are getting 14,000 in membership thus far.
Man, how you know what you're going on there?
Yeah. Because I know the interest is very hard, like
Mm.
I said. Just in Bon, I think this recruitment was done somewhere in Bon County and might be in between that today. So I just got that figure just came in from our data center. So again, Chairman, that's it.
Thank you so much. So, Mamo Faye, I June. Numero tan ani sei, number tani sei, kele fila saba na ni lulu woro wula sei kono tan. Tani kele tani fila tani saba tan na tan lulu tani woro tani wula ta ani sei. Mo wole ko. Mo ta fe ka wala no ka fo mo vote di ke mo e bana fala ya fo ko e do mage ya ko mo ta vote ka wala no le wole. Mo be se wole wo use kela, especially numu bola yo no wulo lo fa shia mani kilada. Niba fandu ya makilada. Kada mna niba makata hanfo dogo tu wo shia la dan yo. Kada mina ganta makata hanfo miri le wo share la dan yiro o wolu kaka ka dépasse a wo te ba mo yoro foi international community tada mo be ba mo tax le lo. Everything comes from the tax that we pay. All of the road construction that is ongoing right now, no donor, everything comes from the taxes that we are paying. Very soon you will see the construction from the Vatan bridge to the Bomi highway. So these are all done from the taxpayer money. It tells you how the men love this country. And everything, like I said, no donor money. So let's contribute to the development of this country by voting George Weah for the second time, so the tremendous work that he's doing can continue to be on track. Thank you so much, Seko. It was nice being in your studio.
Thank you very much. And that's all the time we've got to be here with